service. Vous désirez?
Anything you got, and plenty of it.
Non, mangez.
I think she's asking if we want to eat.
Eat, ah oui, eat.
Sure, bring it along.
Bien, monsieur.
Kirk Douglas Westerns. I doubt there is anyone watching this video that hasn't heard of Kirk Douglas. A legend in Hollywood, across many genres, and a great contributor to westerns, has worked with the best. Let's take a look at his westerns today. You won't be disappointed. If you enjoy my video, hit the notification button to get my new videos. Head to my channel to check out my many other videos. The link is in the description. Take a moment to like, subscribe, and share. You know the drill. Let's get into it. Along the Great Divide, 1951, a US Marshal and 2 deputies rescue a cattle rustler from a lynch mob, led by a local cattle baron, convinced that the rustler also killed his son. Kirk Douglas's first Western. Director, Raoul Walsh. Stars, Kirk Douglas, Virginia Mayo, John Agar.
Who are you? My name's Merrick. I'm United States Marshal.
The Big Trees, 1952. A Quaker colony tries to save the giant sequoias from a timber baron. According to Kirk Douglas in his autobiography, The Ragman's Son, he agreed to act in this film for free in order to end his contract with Warner Brothers. He later said, "It's a bad movie." Director, Felix E. Feist. Stars, Kirk Douglas, Eve Miller, Patrice Wymore. The Big Sky, 1952. The success of the journey focuses on keeping the Indian girl alive as well as themselves, to complete trade with the Blackfeet.
Anything you got?
The only Howard Hawks film in which Kirk Douglas appears. Director, Howard Hawks. Stars, Kirk Douglas, Dewey Martin, Elizabeth Threet. Man Without a Star, 1955. Sharpshooting drifter Dempsey Ray comes back to Wyoming to work for beautiful rancher Reed Bowman, but Reed's plan to fence in her land's wide open spaces angers other ranchers and soon embroils Dempsey in a bloody range war. One of the first films that Kirk Douglas made through his production company. The film was a box office hit. Kirk Douglas's Dempsey Ray lived to age 103, passing away on February 5, 2020, some 65 years after Man Without a Star was released. Director, King Vidor. Stars, Kirk Douglas, Jean Craig, Claire Trevor.
The night is dark and the way is far. Man without a star, or a man with a star. For a man without a star, or a man without a star.
The Indian Fighter, 1955. A scout leading a wagon train through hostile Indian country unwittingly gets involved with a Sioux chief's daughter. Kirk Douglas did most of his own horseback riding, and at one point broke his nose attempting a stunt that called for him to make his horse fall. Instead of leaning back in the saddle, when yanking the horse's head around to the side, Douglas leaned forward and took the full force of the horse's heavy head right in the face. Director Andre Dutot. Stars Kirk Douglas, Elsa Martinelli, Walter Matthau.
Well, Nadia, I need your help. Your father's attacking the fort in the morning.
You must go.
It'll be a massacre. It's gotta be...
Gunfight at the OK Corral, 1957. Lawman Wyatt Earp and outlaw Doc Holliday form an unlikely alliance which culminates in their participation in the legendary gunfight at the OK Corral. Kirk Douglas and Burt Lancaster had worked together in I Walk Alone, 1947, and often saw each other at various Hollywood functions. But as Douglas recounted in his autobiography, The Ragman's Son, they didn't become friends until this movie, which led to some pretty loose and easy moments on the set. Director John Sturges. Stars Burt Lancaster, Kirk Douglas, Rhonda Fleming. Last Train from Gun Hill, 1959. A marshal tries to bring the son of an old friend, an autocratic cattle baron, to justice for his role in the rape and murder of the marshal's Native American wife. Kirk Douglas's salary was $325,000, against 10% of the gross. This was Kirk Douglas and Anthony Quinn's third movie together after Ulysses, 1954, and Lust for Life, 1956. Director John Sturges. Stars Kirk Douglas, Anthony Quinn, Caroline Jones.
Craig, that's the way you want it.
That's the way I want it.
Then you draw. Craig.
Matt? What was your boy's name, Matt?
Petey.
Petey. That's right, Petey. Raise him good, Matt.
The Last Sunset, 1961. At a Mexican ranch, fugitive O'Malley and pursuing sheriff Stribling agreed to help rancher Breckenridge drive his herd into Texas, where Stribling could legally arrest O'Malley. But Breckenridge's wife complicates things. Among some of the more ludicrous titles that Universal proposed for the film were The Magnificent Two, The Majestic Brutes, Seething Guns, The Fuel and the Fire, To Make Hate, Death is My Middle Name, and Appointment with a Dead Son. Director Robert Aldrich. Stars Rock Hudson, Kirk Douglas, Dorothy Malone. Lonely Are the Brave, 1962. A fiercely independent cowboy gets himself locked up in prison to escape with an old friend. After Kirk Douglas read The Brave Cowboy by Edward Abbey, he purchased the rights to it and gave the project to his friend Dalton Trumbo. Douglas said Trumbo's screenplay was perfect, the best he had ever read, and he didn't change one word of it. Director David Miller. Stars Kirk Douglas, Gina Rowlands, Walter Matthau.
He stood alone, towering over all who would hunt him down.
Time we took off, too. What do you think, Whiskey?
Beside your horse and put your hands up. John W.
Way West, 1967. In 1843, a former US senator leads a wagon train of settlers to Oregon, but his megalomania leads to growing dissatisfaction with his leadership. Robert Mitchum and Richard Widmark reportedly did not get along with Kirk Douglas because of his tendency to usurp control of the project from Andrew V. McLaughlin. Director, Andrew V. McLaughlin. Stars, Kirk Douglas, Robert Mitchum, Richard Widmark.
Not lazy. You're sick. Sick with grief, and you have been for 2 years.
Liberty train and show them the way west to Oregon.
You and your wife will be eating the dust of Steve Brady's wagon train all the way to Oregon.
The War Wagon, 1967. The story of a man who was shot, robbed, and imprisoned, who returns to steal a large gold shipment from the man who wronged him. The gold is transported in an armoured stagecoach, the War Wagon. In the initial release cut of the film, when bare-chested Kirk Douglas walks away from John Wayne, leaves his room, Douglas was nude. In other versions, the scene was cut just before Douglas's buttocks were revealed. Director, Burt Kennedy. Stars, John Wayne, Kirk Douglas, Howard Keel.
Mine hit the ground first.
Mine was taller. In addition to Kirk Douglas, we have...
What's your pleasure?
Stud.
One kid and a crazy old man. How the hell did
Cut it out, all of you. I didn't bring you here to be the best of friends. We're an inch away from gunning each other down, but it's on wheels.
Look at those horses, what are they dragging? Heavily guarded, what are they...
There Was a Crooked Man, 1970. A charming but totally ruthless criminal is sent to a remote Arizona prison. He enlists the help of his cellmates in an escape attempt with the promise of sharing his hidden loot. The enormous dressing trailer for Kirk Douglas stood just outside the location's prison set. Reportedly, it had a white picket fence, a mailbox, 2 flower boxes, and a green lawn planted in front, with a water fountain and lounge chairs. Director, Joseph L. Mankiewicz. Stars, Kirk Douglas, Henry Fonda, Hume Cronin. A Gunfight, 1971. 2 aging gunfighters in need of money come to an agreement to organise an actual showdown between them and sell tickets for it. The townsfolk are more than interested to see the show. Feature film debut of Eric Douglas, son of Kirk Douglas. Director, Lamont Johnson. Stars Kirk Douglas, Johnny Cash, Jane Alexander. Posse, 1975. An unscrupulous politico-marshal and his deputies chase a gang of train robbers, whose leader proves that every man has his price. This movie was the first role for James Stacey, following his 1973 motorcycle accident in which he was hit by a truck driver, resulting in the loss of his left arm and left leg. Kirk Douglas created the role especially for Stacey. Director, Kirk Douglas. Stars, Kirk Douglas, Bruce Dern, Bo Hopkins. The Villain, 1979. Facing hanging, a bank robber makes a deal with the corrupt banker to avoid execution in exchange for a dirty assignment. Many of the stunts and pratfalls were notably performed by Kirk Douglas himself. Seeing as he was 62 years old at the time of production, this was quite an impressive feat. Director, Hal Needham. Stars, Kirk Douglas, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Margaret. from Snowy River, 1982. In 1880s Australia, after young Jim Craig's father dies, he takes a job at the Harrison Cattle Ranch, where he is forced to become a man. Burt Lancaster and Robert Mitchum were also considered for the dual role played by Kirk Douglas. Director George Miller. Stars Kirk Douglas, Tom Burlinson, Terence Donovan.
Well, suddenly he finished here.
The Man from Snowy River, as an epic poem, has inspired Australians for generations. As a movie, it is captivating audiences.
It was someone else's daughter. I didn't carve this place out of the bush.
I have a right to know.
You got a long way to go yet, lad. He's not a lad, brother. He's a man. You look at that!
Draw, 1984. In the final days of the Old West, a former desperado faces down a now drunken ex-sheriff who was his longtime nemesis. Kirk Douglas's last Western film. Director Stephen Hillard Stern. Stars Kirk Douglas, James Coburn, Alexandro Bastardo. If you like this video, make sure you hit the notification button so you will see my new videos as they come up. Take a look at my channel to see all my other videos. The link is in the description. Take a look at my Facebook page as well. I appreciate likes, shares and subscribers. Bye for now. See you again soon.
Interesting facts about famous people.